This is the Range Rover Velar. Specifically, this is the P340 SER dynamic version of the Velar. And today I'm going to be going through all the things I like about this vehicle. So let's hop right into the video. The first thing I actually want to talk about is the styling of the Velar. I absolutely love it, and I think it is one of the best looking Range Rovers out on the road today. The first thing is the fact that the body has a swooping style. Yes, you lose some headroom in the back because it kind of angles down towards the back, but it is really cool. It is a little shorter than the Range Rover Sport and the full-sized Range Rover. It's actually a lot shorter, but I do like the look it is trying to go for. Plus, it has the two-tone black paint on it, which is really nice as well. Another thing that I really like about the Velar is the pop-out door handles, that when you unlock the car, they pop out so you can open them and they will open, and then you can get into the car. Sadly, this one does not have soft closed doors. I also like the 7-spoke rims. Those look really good, and all the other black accents on the exterior with the LED lighting. It's just a nice looking SUV. The next thing I want to talk about is the powertrain inside of this Velar. Now, this isn't the same engine as the 5-liter supercharged V8 that you can get in the Range Rover Sport. No, this is still supercharged. It is a supercharged 3-liter V6, makes 340 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. Of course, it's put out to an all-wheel drive system, just like all Range Rovers are. And it is super punchy and nice to drive. Even though it is a smaller engine, you do still get to that oomph down low with the torque, and it is still pretty quick at higher speeds, which is surprising because 340 horsepower in an SUV is not that much. And the next thing I want to talk about is actually the interior of the Velar. So hopping in here, it does look pretty similar to a lot of Land Rovers out there, especially the Range Rover lineup with the Sport, the Velar, and the full-sized, and then the Evoque. The interior looks very similar, but I really like the interior of all of those vehicles. You have the dual screens in the middle, with the bottom one for your climate, your seat controls, and your vehicle settings, in the top one for your entertainment and navigation. And of course, the gauge cluster is super customizable as well. If we go ahead and start up the car, as you can see, the gauge cluster is nice and clear, and it's very customizable. You can put the map across the entire screen, have 1 gauge, 2 gauges, and show different information, including your fuel economy stuff. And then in the center, like I said, you can control your climate controls, your seat controls, and vehicle controls, which leads me into the next part, and that is actually the adaptive air suspension on this vehicle. So the adaptive air suspension is nice. Alone, it's going to make it so when you are on the road, it makes bumps softer to go over, and when you come to a stop, the car stops at a nicer pace and doesn't pitch forward too much. But on top of that, the suspension will change if you go ahead and change your drive modes. It'll change the stiffness of the suspension, and it will change how high or low the vehicle is riding. If you're in mud and ruts or sand, it's going to raise the vehicle's height, versus if you're in comfort or eco, it's going to put it at a normal level, and if you're in dynamic, it will lower it. That way you have a more sporty driving experience, which is really nice. I love this entire screen's look too. It's very high quality, and the screens in general are just high resolution and great looking. The next thing I want to talk about, and this will be somewhat controversial across different people who've driven this car, is actually how comfortable this car is to drive. Like I said, it has the adaptive air suspension in it, but on top of that, the seats are nice and comfortable. The leather is nice and soft, and the Velar gives you a nice driving position, which makes the car really nice to drive. The transmission's also very, very smooth, and even though the powertrain is supercharged, it's still very smooth, and it builds its power very linearly. Not to mention, this is getting like 22.5 miles per gallon. So yeah, gas is expensive right now, and this takes 91, but you will get a decent amount of range out of it. So that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the things I like about the Velar, and I hope you guys get to drive one at some point too, because they are honestly really nice SUVs. And I know Range Rovers get a bad rap for a lot of things, but they are really nice. Driving the Sport recently too, great vehicle. So if you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button down below, and if you want to see more from us, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we make an upload. And I'll see you all in the next video.